Okay, so Donald Trump made some statements over the weekend relating to gender affirming care. And I just wanted to provide some information about a couple of the statements that he made because I think the statements that he made were terrifying. And I felt like if I could provide some information, not to say that there's no cause for concern, but it might assuage people's fears just a little bit. So that's why I decided to make this video. So first of all, Trump made a statement about wanting to stop procedures, gender affirming procedures that are being performed on minor children. So, this is an article about a study that was released in June 2024 by the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, in which they stated that gender affirming surgeries are rarely performed on transgender youth. Okay, I moved myself way down here so you can see this. So the part that got cut off is that the researchers stated that there are no gender affirming surgeries that are performed on children 12 and below, which they expected because current international guidelines do not suggest any medical or surgical intervention for THD individuals, which THD here stands for trans or gender diverse individuals prior to puberty. For teens ages 15 to 17 and adults ages 18 and older, the rate of undergoing gender affirming surgery with a TGD related diagnosis. Now notice it says diagnosis, which means that a mental health professional has to be involved to provide that diagnosis, was 2.1 per 100,000 and 5.3 per 100,000 respectively. A majority of these surgeries were chest surgeries. When considering use of gender affirming breast reductions among cisgender, yes, you read that right, cisgender males and TGD people, the study found that cisgender males accounted for the vast majority of breast reductions, with 80% of surgeries among adults performed on cisgender men and 97% of surgeries among minors performed on cisgender males. So when you hear trans or non-binary people talk about how cisgender people also engage in gender affirming procedures, this is what they mean. Okay, so I need to add a voiceover right here because I cut part of this video where I was moving myself around so that you could read the screenshot behind me. So the part that is missing that I said is that Trump also said that he's going to ask Congress to pass a bill that the United States government will only recognize two genders, female and male. Okay, so right now we still don't know which party is going to have control of the House. We're hoping it's the Democrats, but we don't know. If the Republicans win control of the House, it will only take a majority vote for a bill to pass out of the House and move to the Senate. If the bill moves to the Senate, it would technically only take a majority to pass it and send it to the president's desk, which currently the Republicans have the majority in the Senate. But what most likely would happen is a Democrat would filibuster the bill. If you don't know what a filibuster is, it is a loosely defined term for action designed to prolong debate and delay or prevent a vote on a bill, resolution, amendment, or other debatable question. Prior to 1917, the Senate rules did not provide for a way to end debate. That year, the Senate adopted a rule to allow a two-thirds majority to end a filibuster, a procedure known as cloture. In 1975, the Senate reduced the number of votes required for cloture from two-thirds of senators voting to three-fifths of all senators duly chosen and sworn, or 60 of the 100-member Senate. So likely, if a bill like this went to the Senate, they would need 60 votes to pass it and send it to the president's desk. So we know that the Republicans have 52, and it's a matter of can they get those other 8 votes. So it counted in our numbers for Democrats is at least one independent. There might be 2, but I know there's at least 1. And we don't know which side of the aisle that independent is going to fall on. So now is the time for us, as progressive Democrats, for people that have run and gotten elected as being progressive Democrats, it's time for us to say, if you vote in favor of this bill, you're not going to be reelected and your political career is over. Like when we talk about power to the people, this is what we're talking about. We need to put pressure on every single Democrat that is in the Senate to say, you cannot vote in favor of this, or we're not going to reelect you. And I made this video to say, I know that what he said sounds terrifying, and it is, but there is at least one check in place for what he wants to do. So it's terrifying, but hopefully this video has helped assuage your fears somewhat. And, I made this video not just because it's the right thing to do, but because I said earlier this week, like, listen, I'm done fighting. I'm not interested in fighting. Other people can fight. I'm a Black woman. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. But I'm a cisgender woman, and this is an area where I do have some privilege. And I have, trans friends, people that I love and care about that are trans, and I want them to feel safe in their country. And so, I wanted to make this video to say we need to engage in a call to action and put some pressure on these people that are in office because of us. We can't allow this to happen. And I am not an expert in government, so if I've said something wrong about how a bill passes, feel free to correct me in the comments. But one thing I will tell you, and I will end with this, we especially need to fight for Black and brown trans women. And a Black trans woman is a Black woman. And until I'm in my motherfucking grave, I will fight to the death for Black women and girls. And that's just all there is to it. And I hope that all of you that see this will join me in that fight.